Hey everybody, I am ARMR, and what I watched today is Book 2, Chapter 18 of Avatar The Last Airbender, The Earth King. We open back up on the Avatar and company. Aang is reuniting with Appa still, and Sokka is pushing, we're having a good day, we're on a roll, let's go see the Earth King, let's keep the momentum going. Katara and Toph, however, remind him, it's like, this is the first good luck we've had in weeks, we shouldn't push it. And, the Earth King doesn't really seem to be the one in control of the city right now. Aang, however, agrees with Sokka. They at least have to try. And it's at this point that Toph gets in a pretty good line. I don't trust the new positive Sokka. Long Feng brainwashed you, didn't he? Which, again, I love Toph's sense of humor. She's very witty. And, this is where Aang company fly towards the palace. Almost everyone's like, riding bareback's no fun. We need a new saddle. Toph especially, because she was already not so sure about flying. And, as they're flying towards the palace, guards are trying to stop them with, anti-air rocks and all sorts of different methods. But Aang is determined. When they're in the air, he's just smashing the rocks when they get too close. As soon as they land, the party surges through the army, just taking them down. They're as gentle as they can be. They're definitely not trying to be lethal. They're basically just pushing them aside and going, sorry, we gotta get through, sorry. And I do kind of like that, because, it's like these are our heroes. It wouldn't be great if they just mowed down a bunch of mooks, right? Yeah, they have to get past the army, but they're not going to try to hurt or injure them. They just want to incapacitate these guys so they can get through. And clear up the misunderstanding that's making it look like they're invaders. There's some really impressive bending in this scene. I mean, Aang's getting really good at combining his elements. Katara shows off some really impressive waterbending moves. And Toph, of course, her earthbending is always top-notch. Pardon me. We switch briefly to Zuko and Iroh arriving home from the lake, and Zuko just passes right out. He collapses, and, it looks pretty serious. But then we immediately return to the Avatar squad, as they find a very impressive door in the palace. Sokka tries to open it himself, but it's a huge door and he's trying to kick it open. It's not going to work. A little bending, though, and it gets smashed down fairly easily. Naturally, Long Feng and the Dai Li are already there and around the king. And, their rather aggressive method of entering the palace kind of has the king on edge already. He's going, it's like, why should I trust you? The Dai Li are just about to arrest them, and then Long Feng makes the mistake of saying, take the Avatar away. So, of course, the king pauses. He's like, wait, the Avatar? That's the Avatar? Over there. Oh, that's the Avatar? Funny little moment in the scene. And, he's kind of going, it's like, you may be the Avatar, but you did just invade my palace and destroy my fancy door. But then the bear from the party comes over and sort of licks Aang's cheek and is like, hey, man, I like you. And the king just says, Baska seems to like him. I'll hear what he has to say. I love that, but I also love that during this scene, there's one point after the Dai Li cuffs the group where Aang just, frees his hands and goes, I swear, I'm perfectly cool. And then puts his hands back in the earth cuffs himself, and I thought that was hilarious. Aang basically going, I can totally just get out of these whenever I want. I'm cooperating because I want to get on your good side. Fun little touch there. And probably implies that Toph of her earthbending is just as capable of getting out of the cuffs. So he starts telling the king about the war, and the king has been so sheltered that he has trouble believing him. Long Feng is, sort of whispering more poison into the king's ear. But they use the bite mark on Long Feng's leg from when Appa tossed him last episode to cause doubt in the king's mind and win them some credibility. Long Feng tried to claim that he'd never seen a sky bison before, but that bite mark combined with them having Appa right there to match the teeth to it kind of, destroyed his little lie there. They don't get the king to believe them per se, but they at least convince him to take a look at some stuff, We go back for just a moment, to Iroh treating Zuko and his fever, trying to give him some water, trying to help him rest. And then right back to the Avatar squad. Their attempts to persuade the king aren't going well, as the Lake Lao Gai facility has been hidden or destroyed by the Dai Li. So they decide to try showing him the drill at the outer wall, reasoning that couldn't have been covered up yet. I was a little hesitant on this because it has been weeks since they arrived at Ba Sing Se. They say this themselves several times. But they convinced the Emperor to come, partly because, even though he's saying it's that would be a waste of my time. No Emperor has gone to the outer wall. They're like, if you come, you can ride on the Sky Bison. Oh, he loved that. Admittedly, he's a bit freaked out once they actually get up there because, it's a completely new experience for him. He's like, this is terrifying and exhilarating at the same time. And Tao was like, yeah, I hate it too. Kind of a cute moment, and you get the idea that this, he's your typical king. He likes new things. He likes exciting things. He likes this cool stuff that he can discover. And what's cooler than a ride on a Sky Bison? We return to Zuko and Iroh, and we're in Zuko's mind for this part, and there are two dragons, a blue and a red one, and he's dressed as the Fire Lord, so kind of cool. And, the blue keeps trying to tell him, just give in, go to sleep, let everything wash away. And the red one, with Iroh's voice, is telling him, no, don't resist, don't give in, keep fighting to be who you want to be, don't just give in to this fantasy. Are these just fevered nightmares, or is something deeper going on here? Anyhow, we switch back now to the Avatar bunch, and luckily for them, the drill is still there. Looks like the king's starting to believe them, and Long Fang tries to lie his way around it. That drill's just part of a construction project. Then why does it have a Fire Nation insignia? It's important, that's all. You can't trust domestic machinery. Oh, that's rich. The king orders Long Fang arrested by the Dai Li, and the two Dai Li exchange this look that made me think, oh, okay, they're gonna arrest him for looks, but I don't think that they're actually following what the king wants. They're just doing it right now to keep their appearance of being loyal to the crown. And so, having gotten the king's attention, Sokka finally gets to tell him about the eclipse, and after some really clever words, convinces him to send support to help them invade the Fire Nation on the day of the eclipse. A general approaches with some of the Dai Li's secret files. Toph gets a letter saying her mom is in the city, and gets that message from the Eastern Air Temple that the Guru attached to Appa's horn. And Katara and Sokka get news that their dad is alive and protecting a bay. Now, right again, we get another brief flash of Iroh and Zuko. And as Iroh tends to Zuko, he explains to him that his illness isn't one of the body, but of the spirit. His decision on the lake and the person he is becoming are so at conflict with who he's always believed he was, that it's causing a conflict of his chi or something like that, and it's making him sick. But if he gets through this sickness, he will have metamorphosized into a far better person, or at least that's what Iroh is hoping for. Aang and the Avatar Katirs plan what they'll do, with the news that they got, deciding to split up for the time being. Aang needs to go to the Air Temple to see the Guru. Sokka was gonna stay behind to help with the military in the city, but, Katara, knowing how important it is, Sokka says, no, you go see Dad, I'll stay behind. That's really kind. That's so kind of her. I mean, it shows again how big a heart Katara has, and that she knows as important as it is to her to see her dad, it's also extremely important to Sokka. So she takes one for the team and says, "Okay, Sokka, you go ahead. You need this more than I do." And I'm guessing, at this point they don't say it clearly, but it's pretty clear that Toph is going to go see her mother. As they're about to leave, they receive news that 3 female warriors have arrived to see the king from Kyoshi. Sokka declares that it must be Suki, and he nearly falls off Appa. He's so excited to hear that Suki's around. They advise the Earth King that he can trust the Kyoshi, and then Sokka and Aang depart, with Aang, planning to drop Sokka off on his way to the Eastern Air Temple. We return once more to Zuko and his illness, and we get kind of a funny jump scare as he looks in a mirror in his dream and sees the Avatar's face on his body. And then he just wakes up, that sudden, ah! moment. He seems totally scared of the idea, of being the Avatar. Ooh, scary. I really enjoyed it. It was just a funny little moment. And then we get a quick scene showing a Dai Li telling Long Fang that, while the army is loyal to the king, the Dai Li still answer only to Long Fang. And then we get, before the episode ends, we get a quick moment of Toph about to greet her mother, but finding out that it's a trap as her tutor and the wrestling manager catch her in one of those steel cages that he used a few episodes ago when she was introduced. And yeah, the episode ends with one last final beat where we see that the Kyoshi who are being welcomed into the city are Azula and her minions. Which, you know, doesn't bode well for Suki and her crew, but I'm still holding out hope. I'm holding out hope that Suki is going to come back okay, or at least not dead. Anyhow, this has been another fantastic episode of Avatar, and I'll see you guys next time.